The ATOR protocol has been gaining some serious traction in the crypto community in the DePIN space since its inception in April of 2023. Its token, ATOR, was released in the heart of the bear market and seems to defy gravity by going up only. Higher lows and higher highs have been the story for ATOR since its trading debut, and the project has been working tirelessly to get its protocol and hardware up and running. The hardware release is expected early next year, and in true DePIN fashion, the hardware has even been referred to as hotspots in a few cases. This is a very promising project with some serious potential going into what might be the biggest bull market in crypto history. Let's take a look at the details. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the Crypto Compound channel. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys are having a great day. Please hit that like and subscribe on the way in. It really helps support the channel. Today's video, we're talking about ATOR. You guys might have heard of it. It has been going basically only up since it started, or since its trading debut started back in April of 2023, way back here in the midst of the bear market, and it has climbed all the way up. Yesterday, reaching almost $2.30. Today, taking a little bit of a pullback, perhaps the biggest pullback of this whole chart. And we could see some bearish divergence here. So we're not going to get into all of the technicals in today's video, as there's really not much considering this is the whole chart. But I do want to highlight it because of the performance over the last few months, and I want to take a deep look into the project, highlight some of the actual protocol, the tokenomics, what their mission is, the roadmap, the original Tor project and how it relates here to the ATOR protocol, and of course some of the hardware that is highly anticipated and, as we can see here, coming soon. So first, if we take a look here at CoinMarketCap, we can see it is an Ethereum contract. I did buy some a few weeks ago. It was very easy to buy via MetaMask and Uniswap, so very accessible to people. It's also listed on KuCoin, but really accessible, and obviously this performance is pretty extraordinary. Full disclosure, I did purchase some a while back, sometime around the end of October, but I would be interested in adding to this position if we do see any bit of a significant pullback, because I have liked what I've seen so far with regards to the token and the project. Now, I did add this to my gaming tracker for whatever reason. As you can see here, it's obviously in the DePIN category, and it's on ETH. The first thing I would like to talk about is the diluted market cap here. We can see with a lot of newer coins, there's usually an extremely high diluted market cap compared to the circulating market cap. As we can see here, it's very low. This is a good sign. This means there isn't going to be significant unlocks happening and people dumping their pre-sale coins on the open market, driving the price lower. So that is a very good sign. This is actually very close to 1, which even if we compare here to some of these gaming coins, obviously some of these are pretty bad, but it's not uncommon for them to be between 3 and 6 and 8. As we can see, ATOR is all the way down at 1.1. That is a very good sign right off of the bat. And then if we go over here to their Twitter, there's a very active Twitter. We could even go back to when the token launched back in April, May. And we can see that there's been active updates, consistent updates. There's high engagement with the community, which is a good sign. Decent number of followers here. And one of the things that I like is the following list here is very on brand for ATOR, being that ATOR is a anonymity token. It's very on brand with who they're following here. As we can see, there's Edward Snowden and stuff like that. All of these are very on brand for the follow list that you might expect. So that's just another good sign that a lot of people don't consider, but I like to see that. Now, before we get into the actual roadmap, tokenomics, and the actual white paper, I do want to highlight this website because it is new. A few weeks ago, this website literally did not exist. There are still a bunch of pages here that are all still coming soon, but the majority of it is here on the homepage, and this is all revamped and new, which is a good sign. As we can see there, they rolled out a dashboard recently. This will be a place where you could see your hardware if and when you do get it. Which should be in the beginning of next year. But it's a very simple outline of the network, obviously very rudimentary and basic right now because it's still the very beginning. But as we can see, leveraging blockchain for sovereignty. And here, ATOR empowers decentralized internet relay operators through on-chain rewards and facilitates wider provisions of open and of open and anonymous protocols through hardware. And as we scroll down, we can see they give you a little bit more with regards to the token, the protocol, and the hardware. As we can see, pre-order from Q4. So in the next few weeks, we should expect there to be some sort of a pre-order for this hardware. Down here, we can see the hardware. It looks very much like what the early Helium hotspots looked like. I'm sure and I hope that they've learned a lot from the launches of previous DePIN projects and their hotspots. Obviously, this isn't through a third-party manufacturer like Helium went to after they sold their OG hotspot. So they're going direct to consumer, which hopefully works out for them, because as we know, it could get really, really messy. A lot of people might not like the fact that they're going direct to consumer, because it could look like they're just trying to make a cash grab here and sell a bunch of these hardwares and then disappear. However, I think at the end of the day, whatever works best for the network should be used. And it is extremely difficult to validate, authenticate, cross-check third-party vendors with all this sophisticated hardware. So I don't mind a company going and selling their own hardware, similar to how HiveMapper or Demo is, just because they can control everything with regards to the connections, to the hardware, to the support. And like I said, as long as they do that and they come through on that end, I have no problem with them selling it directly to the consumer. But as we can see, there's Ethernet, wireless. They highlight some of the specifications and technical stuff with regards to this router. They do have tons of relay education, because ATOR is sort of an offshoot of Tor project, which has existed for a very long time, which we'll get into in a little bit. But this technology has been around for a very long time, and these relays have also been around for a very long time. However, there's never been a way to incentivize a build out of physical infrastructure before this tokenomics model came out. So that's what they're doing here, which is really, really exciting. And as we can see, open source, scalable and secure, and of course highlights the token, which is the lifeblood of the ecosystem. The same way HNT is sort of the flywheel, the incentive flywheel for Helium. It works in a similar fashion. Now, as we can see, here's a high-level view of the roadmap. We're sort of right here, phase 3, hardware and protocol release. Q4 of 2023, protocol testing and scalability. Q4 and Q1, first pre-order of ATOR relay hardware and distribution. And then after that, we could expect ATOR Protocol goes live on. So down here further, we do have a core team. However, on brand for ATOR, a lot of these people, they don't really disclose their names, which from an investing perspective, of course, this isn't financial advice, do your own research and stuff like that. But for me, from an investing standpoint, this is a little bit of a red flag. Of course, there are some names here, and you could look these people up and you could find them on LinkedIn and stuff like that. However, there's really not much, especially people like the COO here. Don't know his name, kind of off-putting. But again, it's almost easy to look past that, considering ATOR is a security token, anonymity token. So it is on brand. However, it does make you a little bit uncomfortable. Now, if we take a look here at the tokenomics paper, we can see they start off with a comparison of users, user numbers by service, and they compare Tor network, which is the original Tor network they are referring to in this tokenomics paper, which has been around for years, is a voluntary donation-based relay that people set up on their own personal devices and run relays for the Tor network. However, what they're doing here is they're using those numbers to represent ATOR now, the protocol that is leveraging the tokenization model for the ATOR protocol. So we can see here, Tor network users are larger than Ethereum chain, Solana chain, BNB chain, compared to what they show here. And now if we go down, we can see that this part right here is verified ATOR relays, which is 880 right now, compared to the almost 7,000 other active Tor relays, which are the ones that are donation-based and set up and run by what you can see here, which is the Tor project, which is known here as the Tor project. But interestingly enough, something I wanted to highlight is if we scroll to the very bottom of the ATOR website, we can see down here, ATOR is not a subsidiary of Tor, nor is it endorsed by Tor. Any opinions or views expressed by the Tor team are not associated nor a direct reflection of the team at ATOR. So really a bit of a confusing relationship here between ATOR and Tor. Don't really know what to think about that, and it does make me a little bit hesitant with regards to investing anymore or investing in general. But I'm going to do a little bit more research and try to figure out the relationship here, because they're saying that they have absolutely no relationship with them. However, in this tokenomics paper, they're directly referring to Tor, the Tor project in this paper. If we go down, we can see the pink is Tor network, and they're trying to show you the acceleration and the higher adoption rate that ATOR relays have. Which is significantly higher, of course, because there are such high incentives with the tokenization model. Then they get into the hardware, a little bit of the technicals. That's version 1, and ATOR phase, distribution, and relay rewards. This is basically, from a very high level, similar to how Helium worked originally. They go into the relay rewards economics and all that stuff. So really interesting, very, very general tokenization incentive model, which we're pretty familiar with here. But interesting to see how they go into such detail, and they have some estimates of how many relays and the price and what the return might be. I could leave I'll put a link here to in the description. You guys can come check this out. Really interesting stuff scattered throughout, but some of it is very generic and basic. And of course, here we have their ATOR anonymity at scale roadmap. We are right about here. As we can see, we just completed this testnet at the end of August, and right now they're working on the first pre-order and ATOR relay hardwares. That brings us back here to the torproject.org, which is a donation-based organization that helps set up these relays, or tries to get these relays set up across the world to provide this relay service basically for free. And as you can see, it's donation-based, donation funding, as we can see. And this has been around for, I think, over a decade. So this is not a new project. This is proven stuff that does work. However, this is where the roots of the ATOR protocol come from. And it's really just leveraging the tokenization model to really scale a network like this extremely fast and extremely far, and make it very widely usable, and to get people paid for really doing this rather than relying on donations. So pretty interesting. However, like I mentioned, the relationship between the Tor project and the ATOR protocol are still it's still unclear, which makes me a little hesitant, but that's important to highlight and important to keep an eye on going forward. But Yahoo Finance did pick up ATOR, probably based on the significant price action a few weeks ago. And as we can see, they just highlight from a high level all the stuff that ATOR does. Nothing really specific. Even starts off talking about what DePIN is. So very, very high level. Talks about the DePIN flywheel, stuff like that. But this is good to see that it is getting some recognition here. Yahoo Finance has been having a lot of crypto news articles recently, so that's interesting. And of course, they just go into real depth about what the size of the market might look like, according to Mazzari and stuff like that. But guys, that's really a high-level overview of ATOR. Really just like a first glance at the project, at the protocol. I'm going to keep a close eye on it and try to make pretty consistent updates here, because this is very interesting to me. And look, if this is legit and these guys don't mess around, this could, in my opinion, be a top 100 coin by market cap in the near future. I mean, the market for this and the adaptability and the simplicity of the hardware could really, really expand this network super fast, which would in turn start spinning that flywheel and make this price for ATOR skyrocket. So guys, that's a really high level overview. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was valuable. Please leave any questions or comments down below. I'm going to keep a close eye on ATOR here. But thank you guys for being here and listening until the end. Please hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. But just like that, this video is over, and I'll see you